Hi, Zlatka here. I'm doing my best to share once a week a video on here to share different insights, different ways I'm weaving my understandings of myself, the world, my relationships, my role within the wheel of the whole, also known as our dharma, our purpose, and how to weave that into the time that we are alive, this specific time on earth. How to be responsive rather than reactive, how to be in our power rather than give our power away by blaming, shaming, guilting, how to stay centered in our sacred heart, in our womb, in our belly, and be grounded on the earth to really feel connected to our body, to our breath, to the plants, to the animals, to this precious earth that we get to live on, and so much more. So if you're watching this and you're finding usefulness in my videos, please let me know. Please subscribe. I don't know any other way these channels get to grow and evolve. So please subscribe if you're finding value. And yeah, I'm gonna dive into what's been coming alive for me today, which is I'm gonna start with this. It's the danger of polarization, to polarize different groups, different peoples, different cultures, different nations. And we have seen that happen time and time again. And I think anytime there's a revolution happening, where there's stagnant energy both within us and in the world, and that stagnant energy needs to move, there needs to be a change. Otherwise there continues to be reaction, intolerance. I'm speaking of gene key terms right now, these two shadows that perpetuate more war, intolerance and reaction, gene key 4 and 49. And the gifts here are the gift of revolution and the gift of understanding. And the gift of revolution is basically being able to not react to the different emotions, the high emotionality that often determines our actions, but rather, can I be with what is? And can I notice from a place of understanding, the fourth gift? And understanding is not just coming from the mind. This is one part of understanding, but it's an allowance that comes from our full being, our full body. So it's an emotional understanding, it's a physical understanding, it's a mental understanding, and it's a spiritual understanding. It's being able to feel and receive and respond from our full being. This is that quality of understanding that I'm speaking of. And if I'm able to do that, I can also detect and I can see where's the stagnation in my own body. Where's a revolution wanting to happen in my own body? That's the gift of revolution. These two are interconnected. They're programming partners. What I'm speaking to here is also patterns of nature, patterns of humanity, patterns of life. The gene keys generously share in their own unique way how these patterns, these archetypes are expressed. So you don't have to have them in your profile to work with these codes, to work with these archetypes. We all have them. Of course, you have your particular flavor in this lifetime. You can look that up and check what those are. But back to what I'm speaking to is, when I come from this place of understanding, I can notice where the revolution actually wants to happen. Where's their stagnant energy that keeps repeating in reaction and intolerance, that creates more internal war and external war? And how can I be with what is from that place of centeredness, from that place of really feeling centered in my heart and my body? One of the ways is to relax. It's to relax the belly. So you can do it right now with me if you're listening to this. Just relaxing the belly, relaxing the breath, relaxing the shoulders. Slowing down the breath. Breathing with the full body. So breathing from the root up as much as you can. Belly, diaphragm, heart. Releasing, relaxing. And you can do that for as long as you need. I recommend, when noticing yourself in reaction, is to pause and to do this for at least a minute. Just to simply connect to your breath, to connect to your body, and to regulate your nervous system. Because if your nervous system is not regulated, often is going to be in reaction. And reaction and intolerance, these two codes, these two frequencies, create more war in the world and within us. Because we cannot tolerate what's happening. We cannot tolerate what's happening in the world. We react, and there's explosion. There is destruction. There is more trauma being perpetuated. And I believe a lot of us are seeing that right now. A lot of us are very, very privileged, me included, where I am seeing that on my screen and not in my backyard, not in my neighboring country. And it is really, really, it's really illuminating to see the level of destruction that is possible when these shadows that have been existing for millennia are not looked at, are not witnessed, are not embraced, and how they tend to perpetuate not only in ourselves but also in our relationships and also in the world, because we're interconnected. And so when I come from this place of groundedness, when I come from this place of allowing information in, whether it's information I'm receiving online or talking with a friend or reading something, or I'm just observing life, observing myself, observing nature, the level at which I can allow my body to receive the information from that place of groundedness, relaxedness, presence, is the ability to which I can respond to the revolution. That's the gift of the 49th. So the fourth gene key gift is understanding, and the 49th is revolution. And these two are programming partners. They're like yin and yang. They travel together forever. They're part of they're always gonna be together. They're two DNA strands, the yin and the yang. And so when we're in the shadow, the shadows create these biofeedback loops. They perpetuate each other. When we're in the gift frequency, when we come from the heart, from our centeredness, then they complement each other. From understanding comes revolution, comes this deeper response. How can I respond to this time that I get to be alive in a way that is more effective and useful, rather than perpetuating more of the traumas that my ancestors endured? And I believe this time that we're alive, a lot of us are bridgers, a lot of us are weavers, because there needs to be a bridge between everything, between the older generations and the newer generations, between the humans and the plants, between the humans and the animals, between different cultures, different religions, different beliefs, different ways we're wired to live in this world. Because without creating bridges, we cannot meet on a common ground. We cannot see eye to eye. If we cannot see eye to eye and heart to heart and mind to mind, then it's very hard to create anything sustainable in this world. We might have little moments and movements and times where things are have shifted, but then if that is not sustainable, it's gonna come off another side. And I believe right now in this time of polycrisis, metacrisis, where so much of the world, of the earth, of the children are needing our attention, are needing our presence, to pay attention. How can I respond to this time that I get to be alive? How can I respond to the different destructions that I'm seeing in the world? How can I respond to the shadows that I'm witnessing within my own self? And if I can respond from a place of regulated nervous system as much as I can, especially for the ones that are privileged enough to be in places that are safe, this is an opportunity for us to really own our gifts and lead from that place of centeredness, groundedness. Thank you. I don't think there's a shortage of how we get to show up in this time. There's no right or wrong way. I think as we're listening to how that is meant to be revealed, how we're meant to show up in this time is revealed as we listen to our body, to our being, and to trust that, then that is enough. To remember that who we're being, our role in this time we get to be alive, is enough. It's enough. We're not all here to play the same role. And sometimes our roles are going to change. Depends on our unique dharma, our unique karma. And I do believe that we do live in a time where avoiding the suffering that's happening out there it just perpetuates more of that. So how can we come together as a human race to be united within our own selves, within our own relationships, and extending that to our communities, and eventually that's going to ripple out into the world. I don't know when it's going to happen. I just feel we live in a really important time. I think every time is important, but right now it's like, there is a lot. Regulating our nervous systems and coming from this place of centeredness is what's been useful for me. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe if this was useful. Share it. Leave a comment. Sending you so much love. Thank you. Bless you. See you soon.